Oh hey internet, what's up? Welcome back to Dungeon Fighter Online on the Type QQ channel. What the fuck are we doing? We are, looks like fiddling with some nonsense right now. Looks like a good halfway chunk through level 29 there. And as you guys can see, we got a new old par axe that I was able to swindle out of the auction house. Mainly because the event that gave us that, awesome axe, was a daily event, that was just a temporary thing. That has ended, so now we are sort of without a halfway decent axe, and it looks like the old par is somewhat halfway decent, so we'll run with that all the same. So here we are, fiddling with our child slave here, making sure he's fully equipped with the latest gear to go off and find me more treasure. But what the fuck? What are we doing? Looks like we are still in the sewers, still in meltdown. Looks like kind of wrapping up the last few missions here before we move on. Really doing our best to save this town from the monsters and the idiots that are defending it. We first came here, if we all remember from videos and videos ago. We started off in Silver Crown, and then we had heard, woo, finally, I was able to ditch him. Yeah, we're not going to do that voice. Fuck that. We were in Silver Crown, and we kind of got a recommendation to come here, because the Black Nightmare was, I guess, more dangerous here than other places. This place was really feeling it. Their villagers were being attacked. And when we got here, we found out that the town would be a lot better off if all the, protectors and soldiers weren't absolute morons. I'm starting to think that maybe the Empire would be good just to wipe out the resistance in this area and then just take over. Like a lot of the resistance fighters have kind of like said, nah, the Empire sucks, they're just selfish. Or maybe their selfishness is what this town needs, at least at this moment. Because you guys are fucking stupid. Yeah, there's probably like 4 NPCs that kind of try to look after this town, when the Empire's back is turned, and they're all suffering from some sort of, frontal lobe dysfunction or something. The Black Nightmare, or the Great Metastasis, has wiped out part of their cerebral cortex, as it were. That's the backstory, is that the Black Nightmare has been slowly eating away at their brains, and they don't really know it. So they were once smart, smart soldiers, but not any longer. Hey, aren't you the adventurer who was famous in the sewer? I've heard that you daringly talked back to the Imperial Knights and even duked it out with one of them. I'm Captain Luther. I hate the Empire and I like rebels like you. Are you interested in changing the world? You might have heard about it, but do you know the Resistance? The Resistance? It's a group of people fighting the Delos Empire, a greedy, ruthless nation that already has a vast territory but wants to consume everything else in the world. During your journey, you could have witnessed and will continue to witness the atrocities it committed. So here's my proposition. How would you like to join us for our cause? Do you want me to join the Resistance and antagonize the Empire? I mean, that's pretty much what he said. I don't like what the Imperial Army is doing, and I don't want to get into the trouble by joining the Resistance either. I mean, listen, you're a brave and able adventurer. You don't want to live a boring life, do you? I'm not saying you should join us right away. you could have as much time as you want to think about it. Alright, I can tell you don't trust me. If I show you our cards, if we prove to you that we're serious about overthrowing the Empire, will you trust me? But know that once we show you what we've got, we'll have to keep an eye out on you. We don't want you to turn us into the Empire now, do we? And why do it in the first place, right? Just remember that, and go tell Suisha that at the Moonline Tavern that Captain Luther of the Saint Horn has sent you. Welcome. What kind of adventurous story are we going to tell me today? I came for something else today. Captain Luther of the Saint Horn sent me. Oh, you. I see. I thought of you, but I didn't think you'd really come. Why don't you go inside? I'll open the door for you. I don't know. The resistance seems awfully stupid. And I'm not one to say, hey, it's put in some giant sort of like tyrannical force, right? But given the alternatives of, the Black Nightmare killing everything and turning everything into monsters, the Empire, which are greedy and mean, and then we have the Resistance that are just absolutely like incompetent and blithering idiots that can't even defend from the monsters. It really does seem like maybe the Empire is probably the worst of the three. Or maybe that the Empire is the best out of the three. At least temporarily, right? Until the Resistance, breeds, maybe an older generation dies off, and hope that the next generation is, like twice, 3 times as smart as they are. So, give it 90 years maybe. Alright, and then the Resistance can overthrow the Empire, if it's even still tyrannical by then. I'm sure they can put some sort of like democracy or some sort of other political system in that could benefit everyone. I'm not even going to go into the logistics of fixing this stupid world. It's one of those things like maybe it's not worth saving, We're on our little mission to clear off the Black Nightmare from the world, and we'll come to a point where we kill the big evil, and then we turn around and watch all the humans and civilized people just kind of destroy civilization behind us. But okay, I'm glad I saved this. Maybe that's what the Black Nightmare is, the Great Cleansing, right? It was some godful wrath. The god of this world looked down and be like, man, everyone's so stupid. You see how they can't get along and whatnot? Alright, I'm going to take my creation and just corrupt it and send this cloud of death through it, and we'll start all over. In the second incarnation, maybe or maybe third at this point, right? Who knows? Maybe that was the great metastasis, was that the god was like, nah, too many gold farmers. Time to kill this game. And then in the second one, they're like, man, everyone's too stupid. Let's try another game. leather greaves. If only it was heavy, we could kind of even play with the idea of wearing it. My microphone is just going crazy. They attacked us to get food for the wounded black moss. Jeez, they think we're nutritious snacks or what? I'm gonna kill them all! Albert, you're such a moron. It's my fault that the village was attacked. I should have checked. What are you talking about? You risked your life to save us when everyone else looked the other way, including Albert. And we can do this on our own. What? Now, stop sulking and go play somewhere else. We'll have to clean this up. What? What's the shard? It glows. What? It's an interdimensional fragment. Maybe it's what kept Black Moss alive. At least I'm lucky to find it before the Empire did. I'll never let my guard down like that ever again. I mean, how are we supposed to know that there are objects that keep things alive after you fucking smash the bejesus out of them? I mean, that's all we can do if we're, an adventurer with an axe, is just to smash things. You would think, at least in this world, that, when you fuck something up, or hit something with your axe, axe slices, whether it survived it or not, would appear. So it'd be kind of like, the Master Knight should be like, well, I saw that you whooped the shit out of it. Big gaping axe wounds into its head, but, it's not dead, right? So, then you would have the idea of it being something supernatural, not just the fact of like, ah, damn it, I really failed. I really should have squeezed that headlock in more, Adventurer, nice to meet you. I'm Scardy, Empress of Belmire. You look surprised to see me. It's been said that I was killed during the Great Metastasis, but I actually survived, thanks to Captain Luther. And you don't regret that? My colleagues have told me many great things about you. It's great to finally see you in person. Thank you for helping the people of Belmire. Oh right, the place near the old Hennenmire, which means it was the capital city of Belmire. By the way, why are you hiding? The Empire is encroaching on your domain. Why don't you come out of hiding and fight back? I think that's kind of obvious, don't you think? Because we're not equipped to stop Imperial assassins at this moment. Or anything else at this moment. We can barely function as a resistance at this moment. I'm sorry. I've been following you ever since you left. I asked you to meet with her, but I still wasn't sure you weren't going to turn us into the Empire. I mean, telling you things initially felt like a mistake. Okay, what do you want from me? Just continue with your adventures. I told you. You don't have to join the resistance. We'll support you so long as you don't turn us into the Empire. But you want to cultivate adventurers into your future allies, don't you? But they can turn against you. I mean, we've galvanized this point. We're willing to take that chance. We'd like to believe that they would stick with us if they learned the true colors of the Empire. I see. I don't want to sound disrespectful, Your Majesty, but I want to test you as much as you'd test me. I want to uncover the secret of this place where Captain Luther and I met. Can you help? Sure we can, but we have no idea what that place is. Please gather some information. It's a legitimate request, seeing how now I'm your collaborator. I took a peek at the place and saw animated statues shaped like chess pieces. Maybe you should investigate them first. Alright then. Some more event stuff to choke you down with. So yeah, we're greatly getting more missions for telling us to get out of this area than we do in this area. But we are going to kind of complete these last few, as repetitious and silly as they are, but all the same. Boom. And just under level 30, so that's pretty awesome that we've kind of been able to bring this character up to level 30 on video. That's pretty awesome. I think what I'm going to do, to be completely honest, not to show a stop sign to the series too soon, but I think I may stop at like part 10 and just see if I can get a sort of evaluation from everyone. See if I can get a head count, as it were, or not necessarily a head count, but a sort of a thumbs up or thumbs down to continue. I think that would be the best for everyone, just so we don't play this game too much for people who don't necessarily want it around. And seeing how, we gave Chimera about 10 episodes or so, I think it would only be fair to maybe do the same amount, especially if it's getting like less views and people kind of like want us to move on to other things. We had talked about doing another Metroid 2 remake, so we actually might consider that, or a variety of other sort of like retro-inspired platformers. Go back to Mega Man 2.5D and finish it up, maybe. Go back to Mega Maker, perhaps. Who knows? But I certainly don't want to put like 30 episodes into it if people are completely okay with just 10 and moving on to something new. I think this might be chapter 8 or 9, so I know it gives you a not a whole lot of warning, but yeah, I did want to do something, There's level 30. And I think where the level cap is at 90 at the moment. I still think it's pretty awesome that we were able to go like a third of the way. Good job. You're not hurt, are you? The owner of this place is a talented pharmacist. What? What? The captain and I agreed that the statues are controlled by a powerful magic, different from the powerful magic of the Black Nightmare. The gem fragments that you brought are a mere medium that transfers the magic. The actual user of the magic must be hiding somewhere here. Once I heard about an evil spell that possesses stone statues with the spirits of the dead, so they could be used as guards. What you told me reminds me of that spell. So I think that completes our purple gear a little bit more. Sorry, I'm fiddling with my microphone again. I don't think the game volume's all that loud. Or at least, like, it fluctuates, strangely enough. So, fiddling with some skills here. It looks like we've got a new skill there on the right called Justice, I guess? Is it just called Justice? can't be called summary justice. No, it is called summary justice. Okay. I thought it was explaining in a summary of what the skill justice meant, but no, it's summary justice. So I've, in a little bit, or maybe a little bit after, trying out the skill, we learned that the female priest has a second layer to her abilities that kind of revolve around this sort of like fire attribute and causing an effect on enemies that she's hit. It's like a holy fire type of deal, where as the Inquisitor, or maybe just the priest class in general, she can kind of like curse them or target them or label them with a sort of fire curse. And once she does that, it looks like it activates a lot of her other attacks to be like amplified and do more damage. So I think during this video we kind of discover that, and we kind of play around with our skills to kind of work with that a little bit better. I think as we become more accustomed to our skills and how things work out, we'll fine-tune them as they go. I mean, the great thing about this game is that you really can kind of change your build any way like any time. You don't have to get an item or pay money or have to build a new character. You really can just like remove skill points from this skill now and take all those points and put them onto something else. So if we really wanted to, we can rebuild our character as long as it's a Inquisitor. However, I bet there's items out there where we can change our our class from an Inquisitor to Crusader or Shaman or the Mistress whenever we wanted, really. And we would just have to worry about new gear, which it really isn't that important at this stage of the game. And we've said that, and now we're level 30, and it's still not important. I mean, a weapon is important. We want to beat down something rather quickly. And we're actually just reading this for the first time. It tells you this is this is what it does. It beats people up, but also in Holy Fire mode, it does this. So okay, so to really get the most, we need to get Holy Fire, which we don't have right now. But that's the problem with being in a dungeon and then going, oh, we're kind of missing out this whole Holy Fire stuff. And as much as I want it to be a sort of just full-on beat stick, the Holy Fire does kind of fill the character of being a like religious zealot, and also it does help us out when it comes to, being a giant beat stick and just DPS machine, because we're paying for skills that we're only getting like half use out of. We could be using everything to its full potential if we use the Holy Fire. And best thing is that if it's actually not a good idea, okay, then we'll just remove the points of Holy Fire and go on to something else. No big, no hair off my scrote type of thing. So there's really no problem with trying it, because you can always go back, Might as well give it a go. Getting trampled here by this. There we go, Jesus. You wouldn't think it would be so hard. And it's not like it's going to be a tax on our skill points. We have nearly 500 of them, so worth the experiment, especially if it's going to add more damage to our skills. Again, not that we need it, but it's certainly going to be handy, just in case we're going to reach higher dungeons, and might as well be. Are you my prince or my servant? I don't care who you are. Just dance with me. All right, a little insane, I'd say. Dance, twirl, gyrate, trample everyone else, and crush their happiness. Fill my goblet with their blood. Make them scream in a song of agony. lock them up inside statues, punish them for excluding me from their circle of happiness. It's like, okay, I get it. You don't have to tell me your entire motivation. I'll tell, like the very first like challenger you have, I'll tell you my entire story. I don't care who you are. Love me. I'm here. Take me with you. Alright. I'm Clara. I'm a doll dancing for you. I've been waiting alone. No one came. Too dark. Too edgy. Who knew a puppet was controlling the statues? I think it was possessed by the spirit of the great metastasis victim, like the ones swarming this place. Adventurer, you said you didn't sense the Black Nightmare's energy there, but its power affects any entities, corporeal or not. I believe that the possessed puppet and its abilities to control the statues are wicked gifts from the Black Nightmare. The spirit possessing the puppet must have been one of the victims of the great metastasis. She just clearly asked, or said, Why this have to happen to Arad? To Bill Meyer? Watching the woman who refused to lose her dignity despite being a fugitive break down in front of me somehow makes me convinced that she's really a ruler of a state. Man, isn't everything just so questionable? It's not the right time to be sad. The great metastasis is in the past, but the threats of the Black Nightmare and the Empire are our present reality. No one else should go through what the Puppet Queen did. Adventurer, please continue to investigate the Black Nightmare. We must stop more tragedies like this from happening. I mean, isn't everything just such a leap of logic? I agree, the Empire wants to use the power of the Black Nightmare to its advantage. We have to figure out the Black Nightmare before the Empire does. Are we sure they do? We'll conduct an investigation on our own. If you discover something, please share it with us. I think the game volume's a little low, but it does like to bounce up and down, so who knows, we'll give it a little extra volume like so. See, me smashing things are loud as shit, but the music's just gently off in the distance. Fighting is all about mastering the basics. You can throw bricks, you can spray poison, but you can't win if you don't have a solid foundation. Even street thugs practice every day to hone their dirty tricks. I don't know. I'm not going to say I absolutely hate the characters of this game, but geez, I would not fault somebody for hating them, because they're an unlikable bunch, that's for sure. Gotta get that gatekeeper through all these spiky blocks there. I mean, if there's truly like this evil force, this magical evil force, and then a evil entity trying to use it to their advantage, the good guys that are trying to stop them and to destroy all forces of evil do a really bad job of conveying what their plan is, why they're evil, why the Empire is evil, what they've done. They are just as much as the main character is when it comes to like being in the dark and knowing nothing, having to experience it a lot longer than our character has. We just showed up to town, and this whole world may have just showed up to town. They know just as much as I do, and I just walked in. And the resistance goes around telling people that they're the resistance though. Please don't tell anyone. And then, in fact, I'm just going to like shadow you to make sure you don't. I mean, what a giant amount of waste of energy. You know, if you tell somebody who will never have any desire to join your cause. You know, like an adventurer like mine, who's going to not, who potentially won't join, but probably will move on to other towns and areas of the game, and you're going to follow her the whole time. Like, you made a huge mistake. So now your efforts that, of overthrowing the Empire or, stopping the Black Nightmare or what have you, has now been completely wasted because you've been following this one character because you couldn't shut the fuck up. Of this secret organization that you made no efforts of actually keeping a secret. I don't know. You can kind of see a trend here as missions go along. Bosses of some levels become kind of mini bosses of others further down the road. But once you figure out the tricks of how to beat them, then they're not really true bosses anymore. And there we go. The doll is killed again. And that puts us over halfway towards 31. Don't be so full of yourself. Anyone can do this. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck everyone in your fucking town. I mean, let it be known that, what's her name, Ferris, the woman with the tattoo and the claws, and her friend went to the first level, went to Silver Crown, and nearly got killed, okay? So, don't give me the shit that anyone can do it, because I did it when I was level 15. Now I'm level 30, okay? I'm twice as strong as I was when you were getting your ass kicked by goblins in the past area. So, fuck off, and your stupid resistance. Like, I hope for a storyline where this all irons itself out naturally. Like, the monsters kill everyone. Then the monsters try to attack the Empire. And they defeat the monsters, harness the evil. But the evil's too strong to control. And the evil, destroys the Empire as well. But not before locking itself behind some sort of dimension seal. So everyone just gets wiped away, except for a baby in a basket floating down a river, that sort of thing. I don't know. So yeah. So now we've picked up the required skills, maybe only at level 1, as you can see some of them, to get the holy fire. And what that does is it's going to imbrue our weapon. We're going to brew our weapon and holy fire, and then guys that we touch with that effect now are kind of marked by the Inquisitor for extra damage. So me fiddling things around here, I went and did away with that cross attack. However, I'm going to go back and put more points into it, because that also, a lot of our stuff is also, applied by our holy fire, as well as that cross attack. So, as you can see right there. So like, oh shit, we can't get rid of that. So we are going to put our points back into it. It just gets kind of weird. I don't want, I was kind of worried I didn't want too many buttons. Too much wildness going on that toolbar. Cool area effect of the same nature. Something we might look into. This one looks like you can also like throw it instead of having to hit people. That's interesting as well. But it looks like that kind of covers it for this area. So I don't know. I'd like to say something dramatic and say with sadness, and I'll have to leave these idiots behind, but I really can't say that. I hope giant man-eating monsters befall them all. Hello, I'm Yoa Ferrero, a trader. There's no place in Rod that I haven't been. How'd you like to join me in an exciting treasure hunt? Sounds interesting, but probably not what I'm going to do right now. No one knows when or how the island was created. It doesn't even exist on maps, hence its name, Forgotten Island. Forgotten Land. Your job is simple. Investigate the Forgotten Land and collect metastatic crystals and other objects for me. I'll pay you accordingly, and you can have everything else except for the stuff that I want. So this isn't a losing business for you. Ha ha. Ha ha. Just remember, you must leave the Forgotten Land every 8 days before the Imperial Army visits for an inspection. Now, are you ready to leave? Our first destination is the Deathly Harbor. Would you something? If you need advice, just talk to me about the Forgotten Land. And we might just do that, but we're gonna yell at this guy first. My name is Clonter. So you have something to tell me? I get it. You're curious as to why I'm helping the Resistance. All I want is peace in Arad, and the Empire is too threatening to its neighbor states, including ours. So I'm helping the Resistance to keep the Empire in check. You might not have heard this since you just arrived, but peace envoys from the Empire are in town for a temporary peace treaty between the two states, and the security around the city is tighter than usual. Then why are we doing anything? It seems like this is going to be a good thing anyway. I don't know much about the Black Nightmare, but if you want to look around the area, then you should start from the Castaway Cave. It's a restricted area, but you're a collaborator of the Resistance. I'll get a special permit for you. Good luck. I mean, he says that everyone's tacking down a peace treaty, like as we speak. I don't get it. I don't get it. But forgot even that we had all these cool little magic accessories, so we'll have to get those real quick. But I think we're going to cut the video a little short, I believe. Yeah, that's going to be it. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, do all that stuff. And we'll come back and play some more Dungeon Fighter online in the future.